What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. Today we are picking right back up on the EP3, of course. I got all that stuff sprayed off because I'm hoping to get to spraying that stuff today to get to painting it. EP3 is still sitting in the booth. This thing has had a good 24 hours now to set up. Like I mentioned in the previous video, we are going to be going through and wet sanding. Now, we did get some rain, I guess, this morning, so it wasn't as bad as it was the last time, but the car was definitely wet. I came out here and dried it a little bit, but it didn't like soak all the paper and everything like it did last time, luckily. I'm not trying to mask this thing off for a third freaking time, but anyhow, yeah, I'm just gonna skim over this. I have anywhere from 1,000 up to 3,000 grit on these foam back sandpaper. So I'm gonna be using my Velcro DA for the most part, and then also probably a lot of it by hand. Gotta get all the imperfections out of the paint. Sorry there, little buddy, but you shouldn't have been so stupid, huh? Oh, pieces of your body are left. And I have already got ditched this damn hoodie. Y'all ever go outside like, ooh, it's a little bit chilly outside today, I'm gonna put on a hoodie. Well, that didn't last long. Alright, now since this coat of paint isn't fully cured, we can rely on the fact that the clear coat is going to chemically bond with it. So whenever the paint isn't cured, it's still gassing, it's still porous, I guess you can say. So whenever you put a clear coat over it, it's going to still actually bond with the paint itself. But even though I still want the added security of adding a mechanical bond to it as well. So that's the reason why I want to wet sand the whole entire car. What I'm doing is just kind of going over all the larger areas with my DA. So this is 1,000 grit that I'm using, and I'm just wanting to go over the whole entire thing. So now what it is I'm going to do is come back and dry it. Once it's dry, you'll be able to see the patterns in it, whether that's orange peel, dust, or freaking flies, you know what I'm saying? You'll be able to see the marks in it because those are high and low spots. So anywhere the sander has actually touched, it's going to dull it down significantly, and the places where the sandpaper hasn't touched is still going to be shiny. So that is what helps you see whether or not this is actually smooth, is hitting it that first time, finding all your high and low spots. Of course, you can't see it right now because it's wet, so I need to go through and actually get it dry so I can see what it is that's going on with the body, and at that point I can go through and actually fix all of the little imperfections, get it out. I'll be doing a combination of using the DA for that and doing it by hand with a piece of wet sandpaper. But at the very end, once I get all the imperfections out, is when I'm going to go around by hand and actually sand everything, like around this edge, get inside of here, like on top of here, you know, all the little edges that I always talk about, all inside of the door handle, on the bottom of the car, the wheel well, like all of those areas need to be sanded so that it'll actually get a mechanical bond. Even though we are still within our window for a chemical bond, I want to do that just for some added safety. So I just wanted to cover that really quick. So I'm going to go ahead and go over this thing and dry it with a combination of my air gun and a clean microfiber towel. Just get it dry so that, like I said, I can see all the highs and lows. Alright, I'm just moving through this thing, man, because I ain't gonna lie, I really want to get the clear coat on this so I can get it moved out. I'd like to get all those other parts sprayed today if I have the time, but I got this whole side right here all done by hand. I did the roof. Now I'm working on the passenger sides. We're almost there, man. We're gonna be clear coating soon. All right, well, I should have known better to think that I was gonna bring that car out of the booth on the same day that we clear coated it. Definitely gonna let that thing sit in there overnight. We'll bring it out tomorrow, get all the masking and stuff off. We'll have to start on this tomorrow because, yeah, like I said, I don't want to bring that out here and have birds landing on it and shit. Like, I just hosed all this stuff off, you know that. And look, a bird's already landed on it and shit on my hood. So, moving on with my day. You guys know I got Pops running, and I have been riding it every so often. Little trips here and there. Now, the other night, going on a ride, bro, I made it a half a mile away from the house, and Pops just stopped, bro. I had to kind of coast into a parking lot. I got it to run again, and I started my way back towards the house, and then I got stuck in the turning lane, bro, in the middle of traffic. I was sitting there for 20 minutes trying to get this damn thing to start. Let me open this garage so I'll stop freaking echoing. You know, I looked up how to run codes on this thing because there's a little light right here. It says FI. I guess that is for fuel injection. You know, whenever that light is on, it's basically like a check engine light. So what you do to run codes, now this is the ECU for the bike that handles all the fuel and stuff, because this is actually fuel injected. This ain't a carbureted bike. But there's a pin right here that you jump this pin to the negative, and then it'll blink the same as our Hondas do. So it'll have one solid blink for 10 and then short little burst of blink for the number, like whether it's 12, 13. Anyhow, it's not throwing any codes now. So that night, that FI light did come on, but it's not on now. So I guess it doesn't actually store codes. I don't freaking know. I did disconnect the battery, so maybe that's the reason why. Maybe it reset the ECU, and I don't know. Like, maybe I have to go for another ride to see if I can get the light to come back on so that I can pull a code, because this thing has like a TPS sensor and all that kind of stuff. So if any of those things are faulty, then it will throw a code for it, and I would like to find out. But I'm not gonna lie, I almost feel like the fuel filter is like completely plugged up. That's how it was acting. So see how it sounds now. I mean, you could definitely hear the fuel pump. I don't know, you guys know Pop sat for a year, and whenever I dumped this gas out, the gas that was in there was like a dark kind of orange color. So I don't know, dude. I guess the gas like really went bad. So obviously I didn't have E85 in this. What I had in there was 110. I have it in the jug over there, the VP 110. So I don't know if that 110 octane fuel like has a shorter shelf life than normal pump gas or something, kind of like similar to E85. Maybe that fuel filter in there is all gummed up, but I do want to swap it out just in case. So yes, once again, I gotta pull the damn fuel tank off Pops. Alright, I have the entire fuel pump assembly and everything removed from the gas tank. And I went ahead and I connected the feed, the return line, and I have it submerged in this gas. Dude, I'm just hoping that I don't have a fire. I at least have safety glasses. So my idea here is I want to cycle the key, and I want to see if any of these points are leaking or something. Maybe we're losing fuel pressure. So if that is the case, it's probably going to spray me in the face. But here we go. Oh, I think I need to plug it in. Yep. Alright. What the heck is that?
Someone should be shooting right there. Unless it's return.
It was a return.
Where did the return come out at?
Damn. I'm glad that wasn't pointing right at me. It came out right here. Well. What the hell?
Yeah, good. Just shield it.
Yeah. Bro, it looks to me like that's doing what it should be doing, bro.
Yeah, it's pushing a lot of fuel back out.
I don't see any of this stuff leaking.
Yeah. What is the problem now?
I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You try starting it again? And
no, it'll start, but then I don't know. It's like,
think it has a kink or something?
I don't think it had a kink either. I give anything. This, the way I have the fuel, have it set up right now, is applying more pressure on the hoses than what it would was it put together correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, I got the gas tank all cleaned out. I dumped all that old fuel out of it and just kind of sprayed it out with some brake cleaner. I mean, that's what I got, bro. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray this whole fuel pump assembly off as well. I mean, it's not really dirty, but I don't know, it just has like a coating on it. So then the inside of the gas tank will be all clean, and I'll put 100% fresh gas in it. So last time I just diluted that gas that was in there. Well, I dumped most of it out, but I didn't get all of it out because I didn't think that the gas was the problem. So, and then put the tank back on, and then I filled it up. But I don't think, I didn't get all the old gas out, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of diluted it down with new gas. This right here is that diluted gas, and you can see how yellow it is. So I don't know if that's part of the problem. I know you guys are gonna put in the comments, fuel injectors, get the fuel injectors cleaned, in which, let me straight up, I really don't think it's fuel injectors, because it runs fine, and then all of a sudden, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the plugs out as well, and go down and grab some new plugs, because we did replace these when I first got the bike, but I mean, we've had so many problems with it since then. All right, got a full jug of some fresh fuel. Went to O'Reilly's. I went everywhere trying to find these NGK plugs that they actually make that will fit this engine, but nobody has the NGKs. The only ones that they have are Champions, which was in the bike, and freaking Autolites, bro. Autolites. So I couldn't go with the Champions because they don't have the tip that screws off. I had to go with these Autolites because the tip actually unscrews. So you see how the tip of the spark plug, it's just that threaded piece. So the spark plug wires are on the bike, it actually clips onto that. You can't have one of these tips on it right here because the spark plug wire won't fit on it then. So you have to actually take this tip off and run it like that. So the Autolite is the only one that had the option of being able to do that, so I had to go with the Autolite. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and get the fuel pump reassembled onto the tank, get the tank back on the bike, fill it up with fresh fuel, and then throw those new spark plugs in, and then we'll take it for a test ride, see if it's doing any different. And if it's not, if it's doing the same thing, I want to see if I can at least get it the check engine light to come back on, and then maybe we might be able to pull a code. I don't know. Got it all put back together, got the new fuel injectors. Another thing that I did, fuel injectors, the new spark plugs. Another thing that I did is through my research of trying to like troubleshoot this damn bike, somebody recommended, actually quite a few people recommended to use this dielectric grease on all of the like plugs and stuff. So while I had the gas tank off, like there's a map sensor and there's a TPS sensor, like all those kind of sensors, all the plugs, I pulled them off. And I put a little bit of dielectric grease in there and put them back together because these bikes, I guess, are known for that, to have like get like corrosion inside of there and lead to it, get a bad connection basically. So I did that for some preventative, or in case there was a potential problem there. I haven't done it with the ECU plugs, but anyhow, let's go ahead and jump this pin to the ground so we can troubleshoot and see if we can get some codes from that. Oh, now it turned off, you son of a bitch. I'm not gonna lie, I am excited right now because I think I finally figured this damn bike out. Look, I know that most of you guys don't really care for the content on Pops, but that's because you don't know what this bike is potentially capable of looking like. Like, it's going to eventually turn into a nice looking bike and not look like such an old man bike. It's not gonna look like this forever, okay? I'm just trying to get it to run good for the time being. I feel like since I've gotten it, I've never been able to actually enjoy this damn thing. But I was about ready to just go ahead and put a pin on this. So like I mentioned, to run codes, you have to jump this bottom pin right here, the one all the way towards the outside and on the bottom. You have to jump that one to a ground, and that will actually make the FI light blink, and it will tell you your trouble code. So I wasn't able to get it to come on, so I was about ready to just put a pin on it, run a wire to a switch, and then from the switch to a ground, so I can just go ahead and put the bike together, and then I'll just go ahead and next time I ride it around, because that's when I always end up having the problems, whenever I'm trying to ride it, you know what I'm saying? And if the light comes on, then I can just flip that switch really quick and then get it to actually blink. So one thing I've learned about this bike, that whenever the check engine light whenever that light does come on, it doesn't stay on, and then it'll eventually turn off. And it's like this ECU It doesn't store codes, I guess. There's probably a way to find stored codes. I would imagine that a dealer would know. I don't. When the light's not on, you cannot get this thing to blink codes at all. So anyhow, this morning I got up and I was out here messing with it, and I got the light to finally turn on. Just letting it idle and warm up, the light finally turned on. And I got it jumped, and I got to read the code. Finally, it flashed twice. So it's throwing code 2, and if you look that up, it is a coil pickup. Coil pickup number 1. I guess this bike has 2 coils, and it's throwing a code for the number 1 coil. Now I know what it is I need to replace. I think it comes in a kit though, like both coils, which isn't a bad idea to go ahead and replace both. So at this point, what I want to do is I want to order those coils, or I'm gonna see if I can find somewhere locally I can go and buy them. We'll do the coils on it, and I'm also thinking about doing a new stator. Even though I charged the battery and I've been putting on this battery tender, if I go and ride it and I come back, if the bike sits overnight, the battery dies again, and I need to charge it again. I don't know if that's a combination of a bad stator and a bad battery. I'm thinking I'm probably just gonna go ahead and replace both. So a new stator. And if you guys don't know, a stator is basically the alternator for a motorcycle, so it charges the battery. A new stator, a new battery, new coils. And that should definitely bring Pops back to life, man. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So finally made some progress. I have some kind of idea of what is going on, right? Anyhow, guys, like I said, it's now the next day. I was messing with this all night and I got nowhere. And then I got up this morning and finally made some progress. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out. I'm satisfied with the progress that we've made on Pops, but now I need to get out there and get that EP3 out of the spray booth so that I can get all those other parts and stuff in and start spraying that. So, but that'll be tomorrow's video for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you for hanging out with me trying to get Pops troubleshooted. I know a lot of you guys don't really care for the bike, but that's just because you don't see the vision, man. You don't see the vision. It's gonna be sick. Peace.